Okay. Well, the first thing I'm going to say is a big welcome back to everyone watching or listening. This is episode 548 of the Simply Inspired Presenting Champions podcast. And today I'm conducting my second interview with the fighting philosopher Zac Davenport, who is now the champion as well. So we're going to get him to speak on that in just a minute because we did an interview recently in the summertime, but since then, a lot has happened, and there were some other things he wanted to share. So I'm doing my friend a favor here. Want to show off his belt. Want to hear more of his story. This guy right here is cool because he's not just a fighter. He has some very deep insights about life and other things. I'm going to say life, the universe, and everything. You know, he's a deep thinker and a fascinating individual who I always enjoy being connected with. So I'm going to say, mate, thank you very, very much for joining us today as well. I really appreciate it.
Not an issue, brother.
Yeah, it's good to have you. Well, no, I appreciate it because you've had to bear with me through a few hardships as well. Lately, I've had a bit of a hectic
Yeah.
time, which reminds me, so I don't forget, I've also got to show that my book, The Greatness Within, is now released as well on Amazon. So anyone wants to get a copy of that, some inspiration. As I always say, I wrote this not to be famous or to make a lot of money, but just to help other people who are going through hard times. And that's what it's there for, inspiration, motivation and positivity. So get your copies. Christmas is coming up after all. Anyway, mate, that's enough about me because everything else is about you. So the first thing I'd like to do is for you to show the belt, if that's all right, and tell us a little bit about that fight, please.
Not a problem. There we go. Quite an handsome belt. Uh, it's, well, on the 15th of November in Carlisle, Cumbria, I'm from, um, I was given a quite a large task. I was invited after losing twice in a row to fight two weight classes above my normal limit in for the light heavyweight British title in ring wars for Spartan. Took on a lad very capable, Jordan Cook. Didn't know anything about him. Uh, Very tough, durable lad. Young as well. He was definitely hungry. We were nearly 3 rounds, but Chris, our medic, had to stop it because I'd cut him in the eyes, and there was just no going forward. So I was crowned the first ever Ring Wars light heavyweight champion.
Wow. What an achievement. What an incredible achievement. And
And the
testament.
villain,
Yeah.
because there was some weird energy, and I just thought it's happened. Six fights in, and I'm a British champion.
Yeah, that is incredible. That is incredible. When you knew you'd got the result, yeah, like in that moment, I'm literally talking like in that split second, what actually went through your mind? Like the first thing that went through your mind, kind of thing, in that moment.
Obviously, because the way my synapses fire, I'm uh, kind of taking everything in. It's not just the next step because I wasn't jumping for joy and all that stuff. I was taking the surroundings in, the what had happened, making sure my opponent was all right. Um, Looking at Christian because Christian Roberts was actually reffing the fight. Um, Had Lee Shepherd come in and everything because he was a heavy backer for me for that fight. He really thought I was going to do it, as well as Charles Shepherd and a few others. And me corner men like Danny Robinson, Baz Bubbs, they were all just around us, and I was just kind of I had like a bit of a reflective moment, to be honest. I had my head down, and I've told people I was a bit. I wasn't tearful, but I was going to places like that, and I just thought about like me granddad and stuff because he wasn't there to see it. He's the reason I fight really because he got me into boxing and stuff when I was 12 years old. I was just having a reflective moment because there was a lot of people that weren't there who should have been. But after that coming, I was quite happy, and everybody was really chuffed for us. And there was a lot of Spartan fighters, the big boys, Andrew Anthony and Scott Midgley and stuff. They all congratulated us on Facebook and stuff because they couldn't be there, and said, "Well deserved, mate, because you've put a lot of work in and you've been and done it the hard way." So, because it wasn't definitely no easy path.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. No, it's been a hard journey, but it shows how far you've come, and testament to your championship mindset as well. Absolutely amazing. So
Mm.
with that as well, how did you celebrate after winning such a big achievement? What was the celebrations? Did you go to any parties or do anything wild afterwards, or how did that go?
I, Me and my corner man and my mother went to a quiet pub when I got back home locally. Uh, Kind of showed the belt off, but not like kind of in a modest way. I wasn't like chucking it in people's faces. I was like, if you want to see it, you can. Just we just had a couple of quiet ones, and I went out the next day, type thing, just to acclimatize type thing, and I was just fine. I was just chilling out, really. It's I'm not really a big, I'm not really a big party, so it's it's just trying to get back to normal because obviously I have a lot of post-fight depression. It can last more than a month with me sometimes. So that's why it's really hard to take on more fights straight afterwards if I get offered them. It's I don't really want to be feeling like that constantly.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Well, it's a big high, isn't it? And obviously you've been under pressure,
Mm,
like build up. There's a lot of pressure in the build up, so then it comes down. But I also want to say though,
mm,
what has the reception been like in terms of like on social media or in person, like your family, your local area, the town, like just everything,
mm.
everyone around. What's that been like?
Locally, a lot of jealousy. Uh, I will say this: there wasn't not a lot of good reception for the local part. It's within Spartan, brilliant. The fans and everything. Got a bit of hate to be honest, because they want you doing good, but they just don't want you doing better than them. It's uh, it's one of them things. But yeah, my family, everything. See, I'm quite close knit, anyways, with a very small clan. So I don't really need lots and lots of people, to be honest, because I've got two sects of my family. I've got my close friends and my immediate family, and I've got Spartan as a family, and that's all that I need. Um, I never got in it for fame and glory and all that stuff. I got in it because got a bit of a warrior ethos and I just want to challenge myself.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're in it for internal reasons, if you like, rather than external, in the sense that you're competing with yourself and you're learning about yourself and all of these things. I understand. Okay, I also meant to say as well, where do you want to go next? I mean, now you've got the belt, and I know you said you have a few struggles after the fights. We've got to let that kind of pass, and make sure as well, mate,
Mm.
if you are struggling like that. I know it's a small circle, but make sure you're speaking to people because loneliness
Oh
is,
yeah.
is not good when you're feeling like that. But even so, when that passes, who do you want to fight next, and where do you want to be from, in the future, basically, however far ahead in the future, it doesn't matter. But let's talk about the future a little bit.
Well, and people are talking like uh, considering I've just signed a brand new 5 fight contract with Christian. It's
Yeah,
That's a bit of a no-no. I'm not going anywhere. So I'm going to be within Spartan for quite a long time. Um, there's been talks of bigger promotions, but to be honest, Liam, I really couldn't give a shit. I'm I'm here for Spartan, and I'm gonna fight for them, make them better. They're gonna make me better, like they always have. Because I think to us, we are the best. We're the roughest and the toughest. It's where all the savages go to fight.
Yeah.
So, because 9 times out of 10, you're gonna walk out of that pit or ring in a bad way. Uh, I've never walked out of a pit or a ring unscathed. I've always come out with broken hands, broken jaws. You know, I've even had concussions because I've been knocked out cold. So it's one of them things. But I'll take fights as they come. I've never been shy of challenges. If the fights make sense, I'll fight whoever because it's a brand new category. So the at the moment it's going to be the challenges are going to be few, but I hope sooner or later there'll be many.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there will be some more. There will be, but it's also a rare breed that gets in there and does what you do as well. So, it's got both sides to it. But I was going to say, mate, as well. I was something else I meant to ask you. You said there about the hands, broken hands and all of that. But the broken jaw, you've had that done as well, have you?
Mm,
Okay. Which fight was
mm,
that?
yeah,
Okay.
Scott Midgley.
Okay.
Yeah, he hit us, and my jaw was like out, and I didn't really realize until a few days later, because my jaw was really misshapen.
Yeah.
He's got some serious power, as Scott.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're good friends and that, but he's one of the biggest punchers.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I'm going to give a big shout out to him, to Scott, because yeah, I mean, he's a good guy as well. I interviewed him a few years ago like this on his show, and he's just absolute legend. So shout out to him. So okay, broken jaw, broken
He
hands.
is.
You said concussion.
Yeah,
God, that is a rare breed. It takes
yeah.
to get in, mate. Fair play to you. Fair play. Absolute balls of steel, that is.
Mm.
Okay. All right. So, what you say about the post-fight blues and all of that stuff that you said about the depressive feelings, where do you think that comes from? Do you think it comes from the fact that it's like a big high for you to obviously win, and you, like I said before, you're under pressure to sort of perform, and then it drops, kind of thing? Or what do you think the cause is, if you don't mind me asking, with that?
With me, it's uncertainty. I've got no because just recently been assessed for because I'm on the spectrum
Yeah.
apparently. So I have to have got something possibly called ADHD, which is autism and ADHD at the same time. So it's like a dual thing. So the way my brain works, I crave stability and I need a goal, but I need some variance in it as well, where I can change it on the fly. So I think if I haven't got a fight, I'm a bit lost because I notice I get back into bad habits, sitting on my ass, uh, addictions creep up again. Um, Not so much this time, but in other times I've been on the session, I've been told, and I've lost probably 3 to 5 days because I've been on the drink, and I can't even remember doing it. It's apparently I've been out on and I've been concussed and stuff, and it's just the way it's just the way my brain works. I've got quite of an addictive personality, especially
Yeah.
after fights.
But when you say that, like when you can't remember it and stuff, I mean, in terms of the drink now,
Mm,
you also told me that last time we spoke, you told me that you have that kind of switch with the fights themselves as well, where you kind of disassociate and you kind of, you know,
mm,
you're
yeah,
not all there, basically. I mean, you're not all there
yeah,
I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but in the sense that you kind of take a step back. Can you tell us how does
Yeah.
that work? You have what, like a personality shift kind of thing
Um,
when you fight,
yeah,
isn't it something?
yeah. It's funny because this will interest you, Liam. I was actually reading about something called the ego complex. It's like we have the alter ego, and apparently I've got a switch when I walk to the ring. Zach's left in the changing rooms. As soon as there's up by that camera where Kieran and all them are, I don't remember the ring walk. The only thing I remember is Christian applying Vaseline to my face, and then it's on. And then the fight's a blur.
Yeah,
I've either won or I haven't. And it's that could be a bit of disassociation there because obviously I said last time I chronically have it. It never disappears. It's like I say I'm looking at you on here now, but I'm cognizant of what I'm doing, but at the same time it's a bit distorted. It's I suppose it's like a haze. Uh, I mean, I've told people about this as well to do with fighting, and if you were a medical professional, it would probably think it's not the best thing for me fighting because what are your reactions like? That's the thing. I've got really fast reflexes. Um, uh, it's like when I used to drive, I could if I was on a motorbike, I could come to a sudden halt as a stop straight away. There was nothing stopping me yet. I have this distorted vision of what life is. Um,
can
it
I say
it
something there,
took a
mate?
long time, but
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I don't want to forget to say this because I got short-term memory like a gnat or something like that.
snap.
Yeah, I remember what happened a while ago, but what happened yesterday, what happened 5 minutes ago.
Mm,
You want to look up something called, there's two sides of it. There's depersonalization, where you feel you're watching
mm,
yourself, feel like you're in a haze, and it can come, and there's derealization, which is like the world around you and things feeling hazy. And it's very common, like with anxiety and stuff, but it's also very common with trauma survivors because you learn to disassociate from your
mm,
feelings and you learn to. Now, I don't necessarily have it like that, but I've experienced a similar thing where when you have a painful emotion, I can like forget about it. So something's hurting you, and then
yeah.
after a period of time, you sort of like that. And I don't decide to do it, but I just think, oh yeah, what was that? It's like it's not even bothering me. And then when I went to therapy and I did some work on this, there was like a lot of layers, but I never consciously denied it or anything. It just kind of it hurts you, and then your brain has a way of switching it off because of trauma. And what you're talking about, I mean, it sounds like maybe there's some childhood trauma and stuff, or
Mm,
something going on, when you're very young that you learn to switch off from pain. Because the other one, by the way, you want to have a look at is if you I don't have the thing in here, but Mark Hunt, Mark Hunt who fights in the
yeah, I do,
UFC.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He talks about this in his book. He's got a book called Born to Fight, yeah, and he talks about exactly the same thing you were talking about, where you can switch off from pain. And I've met a lot of
Mm,
people where they don't feel it. So it's I kind of gone off on a tangent there, but it's something that you can use as like a blessing or a curse, and it can be both. But anyway, okay. So
yeah.
you're learning to like manage this, are you? I mean, you're learning to kind of deal with it.
Um,
You were saying there.
yeah, I've got some like support workers on my case at the minute. It's all to do with autism and stuff. Basically, how my brain works. So, it's either I've got stuff like like got special forms of intelligence. It because we're all supposed to be good at something. Uh, songs, stuff like that, just like memory stuff like But yeah, it's I've had it for a long time. So I've kind of high suicide risk, I've been told. So I'm no expert, but I have no plans in doing that. But I've been told just because the way it is, don't ever rule it out because I was obviously ex-forces and I've had jobs that required lots of danger. I've got like a high case history of trauma, as well as being a child as well.
Yeah.
So it's like
Well,
it's just
yeah. Sorry. Go on.
like
There's a small lag
his
in the time.
disease, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. All right. So I was going to ask you as well, mate. To be fair, like that's the other thing. If you've had like these high risk jobs, I mean, because when we spoke last time,
Mm,
you said about like you've been working on the doors and all of that kind of stuff for a
mm,
long time.
mm.
And you told me that you got stabbed in the head with or something, wasn't it? With like a bottle, or you had some type of.
It, I got, I was walking. I was up. I was about 16, and I was walking. I was actually doing the doors when I was 16, and as illegal as it is. But some lads followed us home, and I was carrying something for a friend going to a party, and these two grown fellas approached approached us and about us. I think they must have punched us 10 times a piece. I didn't go down, but I was heavily bust open, and when the seniors get up and start trying to fight back, um, one of them smashed a bottle of Newcastle Brown and stabbed us in the back of the head with it. And just as it was going in, my mother pulled it out. Uh, and I got some heavy trauma from that, and I lost quite a lot of blood. Uh, what made me think was the whole time I was in the ambulance and they were trying to treat us, I was laughing at the lads because I was just plotting on what I was going to do with them,
Yeah.
and it was a horrible experience, but I didn't realize how messed up it made us. It was that was kind of like the spiral after that. It because they say trauma can it doesn't happen straight away, it can happen over time. And about a year to 18 months later, it really did affect us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, labels. I'm not a fan of labels, but the PTSD type
Mm,
concept usually has that because it usually has a delayed response rate. I mean, it can happen straight away, but there's a lot of times, you're going through your life and then it's like it comes. So I'm sorry to hear you went through that, mate, because that's very fucked up,
mm,
at that age. But with that being said, you still face danger now because I've seen on
mm,
Facebook that you're doing like private security. So is
mm.
that the doors as well, or is that like close protection kind of?
Uh, you've got it in one, mate. I used to do close protection uh, for the celebrities, uh, business people, things like that. People of no people who everyone know really, um, and I've done that for quite a while. Run my own door teams, stuff like that. I've worked for people. Um, I was quite well known in the industry, to be honest. I wouldn't say I was massive, but I was known as someone who could do the job.
And you can you mention any names, or is it like a secret? Is it like a private thing, or can you mention anyone that you
No,
work?
good.
Look,
Uh, Johnny Depp. Uh, I looked after him when he was on red carpet when he was at Glastonbury in 2017 with his band Hollywood Vampires. Um, I've I've looked after all kinds. Martin Kemp, uh, looked after him locally. There's been lots and lots. It's like it. it based from whatever the client wanted, because I've looked after people like from the 80s, like Kim Wilde, Status Quo, um, Black Lace, all them kind of people. It's just it was just a varied one. I've met some quite high profile people, uh, and and through it, I've had a lot of arguments with a lot of celebrities as well.
Of you, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, you know, they're not always easy to work with, are they? I mean, it depends on the
No,
situation. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, mine is mostly like back when I was doing the photos and stuff. Mostly your sports celebrities, so like your boxers like Tyson Fury and Floyd
yeah,
Mayweather and Eubank Ben and all of those. And to be fair, all of them were sound. All of them were really good. But I've heard
mm,
from and I also a lot of rugby players, because I'm from Wales originally, so obviously that
yeah,
was, and all of this. But I've heard from the music stars and the movie stars, if you like, that it's a bit different. Because to be fair, a lot of the sports stars I've met have been very down to earth. I can't fault them.
mm,
Even people like Mayweather, who people say are really up there, they were still actually sound like when I met him. I mean, okay, I met him once, so I don't know, but like I have heard from people with like the movie stars and all that, they can be a bit more. I mean, is that the
mm.
case? Is that the reason why he was arguing with him, kind of thing? Would you?
Some of them get very uppity. Um, they put themselves on a pedestal. Uh, so I think they've got a very low level of emotional intelligence. Really, it's I think there's something lacking in them. It's they've got this status symbol, so they think that they're like on a higher being than what we are. Um, I've met a lot though who even big time who aren't like that. They're not what they're perceived to be. They're actually quite quiet. Um, and it's like yourself. I've met sports stars as well, and to be honest, I've pretty much got the same point of view as you have, because I think they're more like working class. So it's just they have a bit of money in the bank. Um, I've I've met like foot. It was only really football players that had a bit of a. They were a bit arsey, um, and that's understandable because I knew that before I even met them. So
Yeah, yeah. I have. I mean, you know, funny enough, I've never really followed football for that reason because it's very how do I put this? Let me put it to you this way. I like the underdog kind of thing, right? So I mean, we're all in life, and we all have to work our way up step by step, but and I like that. Whereas it's like, hence I like part of the reason I like boxing and MMA and bare knuckle and all of this stuff is because you kind of working your way up from the up the levels. But like with football, I know they have to work their way up, so I'm not disrespecting, and it depends on the league and it depends on like I know some great people in
yeah,
football. One of my clients out here is actually, I mean, I speak to him like this in the UK, and he's in the Premier League with the coaching side, and there are some lovely people, but it's just, you know, I don't necessarily like the status of like you're a football player, and like when you see some of the
mm,
signing fees and like how much they sign them for, it's not like for the people, it's for the money, and I just
no,
think I'm not struck on that. But
yeah,
it's not everyone. I mean, it varies. Actually, out here, I know some great football players for like the national team and like smaller level, and they're really amazing people. So it depends. Okay, so that's what you do, the cross protection. And does the disassociative thing that we was talking about earlier help you deal with the danger, like working the doors or working? Is there like a connection of like how you can handle danger more than?
yeah.
Okay,
I've been told by therapists, because obviously I'm hyper aware. It's helped me also switch off. Uh, I've got a very high capacity for violence. It's but it's more prominent these days than it was in my 20s. I've seen people fighting on the streets, and I can just walk by like nothing happened.
Yeah.
It's you're either going to do something or you're not. But if somebody was in major trouble, I couldn't just leave it be and let it happen. I would definitely do something. But yeah, it's kind of a weird complex for somebody that's been in security for 21 years. Obviously, I've retired, but um, um, after 21 years, and I was amazed sometimes at how I for so long, because it was a high pressure job, and I actually didn't have that many serious injuries. It got attacked maybe twice after doing probably hundreds upon hundreds of shifts. Um, and yeah, it's just, and it's like I've said, I was never violent doing. I was always thinking you got to protect what's there, and you just got to kind of assess the situation and deal with it as fast and firmly as possible. I never ever punched anybody on the door once. I've been punched, but it's no, I never retaliated really. It's uh, it's it's just, I suppose I've got this code built in with me, and I don't. There's no variance to it whatsoever. It's so black and white, and I've always stuck to it.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the other thing that I want to talk about is you've kind of got your own kind of philosophy to life, haven't you? I mean, you've got like a different outlook on things, if you like. That's a bit
Mm,
different to a lot of people. And, I don't
yeah.
know exactly how to put it into words, but that's what I'm going to ask you. How
Mm,
would you put it into words, like your view on life, your view, you've got some like spiritual things, you've got the warrior code, you've got like a few different things that it is
mm.
quite unique. Where does some of that come from, and how would you describe your life philosophy? I mean, that's quite a big question, but in principle, how would you, if you had to sum yourself up like that?
Um, very complex. Um,
Yeah.
see, my life view and my philosophy is based off how my brain works, plus um, from life experience. So I've got some ways of thinking that I can't ever change. I've been through therapy to do with this and said, why can't I change? Is because you're neurodiverse, Zach, and that's why you don't change. It's You just see it as like a moral compass. Um, certain things. It's like there's certain things I won't do. Um, there's certain things I will do. But the things that have molded me mostly through, I've seen a lot of, I would say, a lot of bad things. I wouldn't say they were evil, but it's molded my view on the world. I've said, if you want to go into political spectrums, I've been down that path as well. From a young age, I started far right, and I've moved as far as into the middle, and now I don't have a political spectrum whatsoever because of it. I'm more what you would call, I don't know, centrist, anarchist, something like that. I don't have any faith in overruling us. It's it's just it's just a spectrum of things that have happened. Um, it's like it's a cataclysm, if you want to call it. It's just there's there's all kinds of aspects of why I think like and the fact that for 38 years I didn't actually know who I was. So over the last 5 years, so it's all changed. Um, I think it's come to a halt where I think for the first time I kind of know who I am. It's yeah, it's like I say, I'm a very complex individual.
Yeah. But it's something I love about you though, mate, because you know you're very unique. And there's not really anyone else like you. I mean, obviously there's lots of neurodiverse people out there, including myself,
Mm,
by the way, including myself, as you know.
mm,
Um, but you know, and I also feel that when you're out there and you're doing your thing, you're also inspiring other neurodiverse people as well,
mm,
to be their authentic self. Because you know, even in my journey, is similar to yours in the sense that there was so much ignorance years ago about all of this stuff, and now there's more awareness, there's more enlightenment. You know, more people know about this stuff, so you can manage it better. But the same as you know, where I'm from in Wales, it's a sort of place where, you know, that kind of sensitivity to things and that kind of deep thinking and some of the, but it's not only the intellectual side, but also
yeah,
like I have more, um, for example, compassion for animals than I do for people. You know,
yeah,
like people, I like people, but I can take them
yeah.
or leave them. Or I like some people, I don't like other people. You know, but things like that, you had to hide that when I was growing up because it's, you know, very, you know, so it's good now that there's a lot more awareness of these things, and I think you inspire people, and that's one of the questions I want to ask
Mm.
you as well. What advice would you give for neurodiverse individuals who are struggling, if they're struggling to kind of come to terms or adapt to their
Yeah,
traits? What would you say to those people?
you're not alone. Because it took me a very long time to even realize that I was different to a lot of people. Um, I knew there wasn't something quite right with me all through my life. I didn't see things like other people. Um, people call me weird and a freak and get away from us and stuff like that when we were kids. It makes you very alone in the world. Um, still, so I feel like I could be in a room full of people and I'd still feel lonely at times. That's why it can make you very untrustworthy, like with certain people as well. It's your faith in them's gone. But people who are neurodiverse on the spectrum, or what, even if you don't like labels, it's you aren't alone, and there's nothing wrong with you. It's just your brain works on a different wavelength to other people, and they'll never understand unless they've been through it themselves. So I don't know what causes it, but some people call it a superpower and other people call it a curse. So
Well, it can be both, but you have to manage it the right
mm,
way. You know, as you know, I've been through a long journey with this as well,
yeah,
and it can definitely be both. But it's how you manage it. Okay. What was the other thing I was going to say? So we've spoken about your future plans a little bit. I also want to give a mention new people who are hearing about you for the first time.
yeah,
How can they follow you, and how can they connect with your journey? Because I know you don't do it to be famous, but
no,
you're very authentic in the things that you put out there. So I do feel that some people should plug into that, and it would sort of help them as well.
yeah. Well, I'm on Facebook. There's Zac Davenport. That's Bare Knuckle Fighter. That's a page on Facebook. Or there's my personal Facebook, which is just Zac Davenport. I've got an Instagram. I'm easy to find on that. Got me TikTok. I'm Pagan Pug on that. which is short for the pugilist. I'm sure you'll find us on that, even if you type in my fights, just with my full name. Because if you want to see our train and our tick, how my mind ticks over and stuff, I'd go on there because all my videos are on there. It's probably where I've got the most followers on TikTok. But I don't like all the social media, but it's a necessary evil. It's I prefer just to be left alone. But you know,
Yeah, I understand. I understand very much. I always say the same. If I didn't use it for business, I wouldn't use it. But you have to do what you have to do. Yeah, your philosophy, you are like a pagan, though, aren't you? I mean, if we focus, we said earlier about the spiritual side of things. Sorry, about the
mm,
political side, the political side of things. But we did say about the spiritual side. With that, would you say
yeah,
that like paganism is kind of your worldview in a spiritual sense of things? Would you say that's an accurate?
yeah, yes. There's a reason for it though. It's not like I don't do it because I watched Vikings one day and it was cool. It was like I've got a because obviously with the pagan pantheon, there's lots of there's lots of different paths. It's even more so than Christianity and stuff. It's or Islam. Now, paganism, for those who don't know, is a path that is very ancient, and it's a worldview that was from eons ago. It's they had many deities, many gods, many. It's like I said, many paths, and especially in, as we said, Britain, as it was once called, we had we had what we call the Celts, and that was a very broad term for for just the people of Europe. Everybody just associates it with Ireland, but it's England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, the Isle of Man, anywhere else. And there's places, France, Germany, um, and obviously our lands were fought for, and people died to protect it and what it was about. And there was many different kinds of paganism on the way. So this country is just full of the historical text on it, and I've actually with my past, and I've actually got lot of Scandinavian heritage. I've got a lot of Irish heritage and Cumberland heritage from where I'm from in Cumbria. It's my family's been here for a long time, like over 500 years on my grandmother's side, and I just
Wow.
found my bloodline was very uh, ancient, and I got into paganism that way because I don't really stick to any specific path with it. It's I just use that as a title, pagan. It's I'll, if the gods, I'm down. I'll just do any. It's just if I was in Greece or something, I'd probably look up their ones because
Yeah,
I just like to see what the culture is.
I'm with you on that, brother. Yeah, I mean, with gods and stuff, I've got the opinion that people are actually tapped into the same energy type of thing,
Mm,
but they're calling it different names. It definitely is something you can tap into when when you pray or when you meditate, when you spend time in
yeah,
nature, any of that type of stuff. But it's been altered by man, but it's definitely there in a pure
yeah,
form, and it's like you have to take the human out of it and just get into the purity, and it's all
yeah,
different. So we're on a similar type of page in a way with that because it's
yeah.
that's fascinating. Okay, sorry, go on. Sorry, what are you going to say?
So I was going to say that, yeah. So I'd say God's within you. It's divinity in that. It's I don't believe you need to read a book or anything like that. So if you're a good person and stuff, it's your spiritual side's there, and I think you know what true faith is. Then it's that's just my worldview.
Absolutely, you have to experience it. Yeah, you can't.
Mm,
You can't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've definitely delved into a lot of text and sacred things, and it helps in a
mm,
way. But it's something you have to experience, personally. And people always say, when I have this debate with people, and they say, well, I don't believe in something you can't see and all that. It's like no, it's not like that. You have to experience it, and then
yeah,
you have to check with yourself that one, I haven't experienced this because I want to. I really have experienced it. And two, I haven't lost my marbles in that sense. And I really have
yeah,
experienced it. And when you know that, you haven't experienced it to make yourself feel better, because obviously we're all afraid of death and we all have to a degree, even if we face it, we all have you know, but then if you say, okay, that's not for that reason. I genuinely have experience, and I haven't lost my marbles. I can deal with reality.
yeah.
Something is going on here, and you do the inquiry, you do the critical analysis, and you think, okay, but it still goes beyond what I understand and what science understands.
That's
Then
it.
you're in a whole other thing. So we're on the same page with that in a different way.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll have to go shortly, mate, in a couple of minutes. But before I go, I also wanted to ask you as well about people you'd like to thank. I think it's frozen a minute, but oh no, you're back there. You got frozen a minute there. Yeah, I was saying, I'll have to go in just a minute now. But before I do, I
yeah,
wanted to give a mention to people that you would like to thank who've helped you in your journey in any way. Just people. I know you said earlier you keep a small circle, and that's the best way, I
yeah,
think. But out of that circle, who would you like to thank who's helped you in one way or another in your life so far?
yeah. Obviously, there's big ones. It's like I like to thank Christian Roberts because he changed my life, the boss man, and he still does. Uh, he's a bit he's a bit more like a father figure to us these days. He really does help us. I'll say Lee Shepherd uh, is one of my promoters. Charles Shepherd, Ben Greenslade, um, Russell Donald. I've got me where to train, so that's the Stamper family. Lee Stamper. He's always had me training there, and he doesn't he doesn't ask anything in return. Um, there's me corner man Danny Robinson, and he's one of my main sponsors. Um, there's Barry Eslop. Um, he's another corner man. I do really. I've got a people who were part of the rebuild of me. To be honest, as well as there's Rio Foster. He was sparring with us for quite a number of months when I was coming up in Spartan, and I was training him as well as he was helping me out. So he really did help us. I've got a lot of the Spartan family as well. It's we've got like Scott Midgley, Phil Hammond. Uh, there's just basically like Chris Higgins. There's too many to name. It's right there, but they all know who they are, and they've all helped us in some way. And everybody behind the scenes is like Chris here, who's all in his medical team. He always looks after us or tries to, anyways. If I wasn't fit to fight, he'd tell me because he would kick my ass. And yeah, and there's just all the team. Everybody. It's like Kieran Bartlett, and who does all the media and stuff, and he does all the filming for the fights. We've just become really, really close friends, and I couldn't have done it without any of them, to be honest. And just anybody that's ever helped us, really. the fans that don't ever get mentioned, because there's a lot of them. Of like I said, my circle's small with fans, but they're actually brutally loyal, and they'll follow us to the end of earth. Like, so, as long as I'm able, I'll keep going. I'm not getting any younger, but I'm not old yet, so we'll keep going, and hopefully I'll be able to defend this.
Absolutely. Well, no doubt about it. Well, you know, mate, great shout outs, first of all, 110%. And yeah, absolutely. I second that. Everybody at Spartan, Christian Roberts, all the people you mentioned, top guys. I'm also going to say that, you know, you're a top guy as well because, you know, when I was doing this, I know like I've been having all this stress and all I'm going to say here on camera, mate, is moving countries ain't for the weak. Okay, it's worth it though. It's 100% worth it, but it's
Mm,
you have to be able to take the pressure. But nonetheless, I wanted to do this, and I had it in mind. I said, okay, I'm going to do this interview with you before Christmas. Not that I'm a big Christmas person, but you know, the world stops, so you got to do what you got to do. But then I had to pull out today, and I said, you know what? Of all the people who were asking me, I'm going to put Zac in there because you've always been very kind and very loyal to myself, and I was going to do it December, you know, but okay, we got it in now, end of November, so it's even better. But the reason for that is I'm not doing it just for anybody because people are always asking me about interviews, and sometimes I can say yes,
mm,
sometimes I can say no. But you have always been very loyal and supportive with myself as well, and I just want you to
yeah,
know that I appreciate it, and it's as simple as that, brother. And I do my best to return the favor, but I appreciate it. I appreciate the little comments and all the little things that you say and do. So there we are. Just so that's out there, just so I don't forget to say as well, mate. And I'm going to say before we wrap this up to our audience as well, guys, anyone who can get the book because in that sense, Christmas is on the way, and I don't want to do it to make loads of money. I just want to do it to help people so that you can live a better life and just never give up. That's the message in there is just never give up. So that's why I've made it. So hope you all get a chance to read it because that's why it's been created to show you guys to never give up. Anyway, Zac, my friend, big love and respect to you, my brother. Really good chatting with you. Really, really good chatting with you. And
good job, brother.
you take care of yourself. Okay, look after yourself. Big congrats on the win. Obviously, you know how it goes. I'll send you this next couple of days or whatever, and we'll get it out there as
Yeah,
soon as I can next week, basically. And we'll just keep in touch from there. And all the future fights, I'll be cheering for you,
no
brother.
problem.
100%. All right.
All right, brother.
Thank you.
Cheers for
Thank you.
everything, man.
No worries. Real good to catch up with you again, and we'll speak soon. You take care of yourself. Enjoy your Sunday.
Okay, brother. Ta-ra, mate.
Oh, ta-ra. Speak soon. Take care. Keep your chin up. Keep your chin up,
All
brother.
right, brother. I will
Cheers.
do. Don't worry about it. All right, pal.
Top man.
Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the Simply Inspired YouTube channel, and there'll be more videos coming soon.